Tonight, a visiting dance company interprets how it was in the beginning. And a sound and light show to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Otago Boys High. Good evening. Workers at the Dunedin appliance factory, sacked last week without any redundancy payment, are seeking legal redress. Their unions applied for an injunction to freeze the company's assets. Stride Corporation, which made Champion Appliances, laid off more than 100 workers with a week's pay. George Burke reports.
The company's in receivership and staff were told last Friday their services were no longer required. No redundancy payment was made as the company maintains it gave notice under the provisions of the Companies Act. But the Engineers Union and the Clerical Workers Union say the company should honour a redundancy agreement signed last year. Meantime, picketing workers are stopping the movement of goods in and out of the factory and are waiting for the outcome of the Engineers Union's application to freeze the assets of the Dunedin operation.
Then the picket would no longer be relevant. They could leave here then and go and look for work elsewhere and get on with their lives.
The unions will then start battling for redundancy payments.
And better news from Southland, where a small rural business is actually booming. As Peter Cruikshank reports, it's turning what was a loss into a profit by processing low-value livestock into pet food.
It was originally a dairy factory, then a carrier shed, then a beekeeper's honey house for 26 years, before becoming derelict. But an enterprising Southlander who saw an opportunity and began killing stock farm to farm, operating from a trailer, got stuck in here in January when he found 5 tons of pet food comes to Southland each week. He planned to process 17,000 sheep this year, but he's already done 23,000.
It was originally designed to do 300 to 500 per week, and we've been doing figures like 12 or 1,300 a week, and it's absolutely taxed it to the maximum.
It's a 7-day-a-week operation. Doug Calvert's been a slaughterman, wool puller, meat inspector, and worked in 14 freezing works in Australasia and knows what the word productivity means. The irony is that much of his output goes to the Alliance Freezing Company for their pet rolls and meat and bone meal, while skins are sliced in Christchurch. He says it's thanks to the farmers supporting him that it's doing so well.
Saving in manpower to do the job myself, and cost-wise it's pretty attractive.
Farmers drop off the sheep they'd get a bill for at the freezing works and are given the equivalent in pet food. He's getting inquiries for product from Gisborne and even further away.
I've got an export order pending to the continent and also to an Asian country, and once the expansions are done here, it'll upgrade the plant, and also the hygiene standards will be uplifted quite a bit. We urgently need a covered-in yard here, and it's going to help us in all directions.
Now an extension's needed for export, and a new phase will be to process beef. Doug Calvert says his plant is the first of its type in New Zealand.
To most of us, our potato is a potato, but a new variety, which hasn't even got a name yet, may become the real favourite. It's a potato which has a rather peculiar pedigree, as Rob Cope-Williams explains, and it'll catch fewer diseases than other potatoes.
It is described as a bionic spud, developed by the DSIR team at Lincoln, who are considered world leaders in this sort of technology. One of the bionic potato's parents was a common rua. The other wasn't a potato at all. It belonged to the cabbage family. The people at the DSIR married a single cell from the rua parents to a bacterial gene taken with extreme care from the other parent. The resulting offspring has all the family traits of the rua with the herbicide and disease-resistant qualities of the cabbage plant. All the offspring will have the same resistant features. It's rather like inoculating our children against hepatitis B, and that protection automatically being passed on forever. All this is great news for the commercial growers. It means they'll be able to produce bigger and better crops. Home gardeners may have to wait a couple of years before they can get their hands on them.
A professional Maori dance company, which had its origins among the unemployed, is currently on tour in the south. The Kahurangi Dance Company was started 5 years ago by 4 unemployed people and now employs 35 professionals as performers, technicians and front-of-house staff. It's also continuing its role as a provider of training in the performing arts. The group is based in Hastings and has already toured the North Island, Australia and Canada. This is its first visit to the South Island. The modern songs and dances Kahurangi performs are based on traditional Maori performing arts. For us, the group performs Te Kore in the beginning. The group performs in the Castle Street Theatre in Dunedin tonight, in Gore on Tuesday, Alexandra on Thursday and in Otago the following week. This week has also seen a spectacular display of sound and light to celebrate the 125th anniversary of Otago Boys High. Son et Lumière reflects the history and achievements of the school and shows the succession of pupils it's known in a pageant of events from singing to stilt walking.
Colour party will advance. Right, turn! Present. Arms!
the cadet scheme was introduced to the school in 1864. The colours were presented to the school on the 17th of February, 1910.
Colour party. By the left, quick, march.
Music and art, drama and singing are also important aspects of life at the school. Many boys are given the opportunity to display their talents in the performing arts.
Present-day boys and the thousands of the future can take heart. They will be provided, as our motto has it, with the right learning to give them a strong heart. Recti, cultus, pectora, reverat.
300 pupils were involved in the show, and tonight is the final performance. It's a nice evening for it too. And today was quite good, as you can see from today's 3 o'clock temperatures. The expected high for Invercargill tomorrow is 11 degrees, and the predicted high for Dunedin is 12. The high today came from Kura, where it was fine, and 17 degrees. Have a great weekend. We'll be back with you Monday night, same time. Good night.